The return of Syria to the Arab League in May after 12 years of suspension marks a significant change in the Middle East's geopolitical dynamics. Interestingly, this shift was orchestrated by the same Arab monarchies that once supported the Syrian opposition against President Bashar al-Assad's regime. These leaders are now restoring relations with al-Assad in a move that indicates a desire for increased strategic self-reliance within the Arab world. This decision has far-reaching implications, influencing not only the Middle East, but also global powers like Moscow, Tehran, and Washington. Bashar al-Assad unexpectedly became president of Syria when his older brother, Basil, who was initially being groomed for the role, died in a car accident. Bashar, an ophthalmologist practicing in London at the time, was then called back to Damascus to prepare for leadership. During the Arab Spring in 2010-2011, al-Assad's regime seemed unstable, with many predicting its downfall. However, with support from Tehran and Moscow, al-Assad's regime weathered the storm even while facing strong opposition, Kurdish independence movements, and control over parts of Syria by the Islamic State. However, al-Assad's rule remains compromised. Rebel factions control Idlib province, Turkish forces occupy parts of northern Syria, and the Kurdish Qazi state in northeastern Syria persists, aided by the presence of US troops. Moreover, Syria's financial and political debts to Iran and Russia further complicate the situation. Nevertheless, Arab monarchies, led by the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, began pushing for Syria's reinstatement into the Arab League. Their motives were to decrease al-Assad's reliance on Tehran and to counter Turkey's regional aspirations. This initiative fits into a broader pattern of Arab nations striving for strategic self-reliance, often working independently of Washington. This was demonstrated by Saudi Arabia's recent normalization of relations with Iran in March 2023. The re-entry of Syria into the Arab League is another example of this trend. While Russia will view Syria's reintegration as a diplomatic victory, Iran might be less enthusiastic. Syria's readmission could challenge Tehran's influence in Syria, as Arab countries could leverage this opportunity to undermine Iran's position. However, not all Arab League members are eager to restore diplomatic ties with Syria. Qatar, for example, is yet to normalize relations with Syria. Furthermore, full acceptance of al-Assad's legitimacy will remain dubious until he can negotiate a settlement with the Syrian Kurds and Turkey. This is complicated by US support for the Kurds and Turkey's demand for a buffer zone separating it from Kurdish territories in Syria. US sanctions, specifically the Caesar Act of 2019, also pose a significant obstacle for al-Assad. This legislation imposes sanctions on any entity providing considerable support to the Syrian government or its Russian and Iranian allies. It also discourages foreign entities from aiding in Syria's reconstruction. This complicates potential financial support from Gulf countries like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, who see reconstruction as a means to counter Iran's influence. A bill currently proposed in the US Congress seeks to extend these sanctions until 2032, which would continue to hinder Syria's diplomatic normalization, despite its reintegration into the Arab League. The case of Syria highlights an ongoing issue: Arab strategic independence. As Arab leaders become more independent and assertive, they are trying to handle regional issues without US intervention. This includes engaging with Russia in OPEC+, helping it dodge Western sanctions, and easing tensions with Iran. Arab leaders are also re-evaluating their alliance with the US. While they appreciate American military support, they are seeking a reassessment of the principles guiding their alliance. Current US strategies towards the Middle East are lacking a coherent formula for cooperation. Past proposals like an Arab NATO and the Abraham Accords have proven unsustainable. Unless the US proposes a new framework, Arab nations will continue to pursue their own foreign policies and reshape their U.S. alliance, causing ongoing tension with Washington. This is clearly exemplified by Bashar al-Assad's recent diplomatic resurgence.